Hi, as you probably know by now, this is Aaron Sadia, and this video is not about current general manager of the Buffalo Sabres, Kevin Adams, because he hasn't made a deal and is roughly 2 months on the job. It's about the former general manager, the guy that played 36 games for them during his career, the guy who was their GM for 3 years, 1 month and 5 days, Jason Botterill. But before I start, I want to thank the websites that helped me in my research: Wikipedia.com, NHL.com, HockeyReference.com, CBSSports.com, HockeyDB.com, and CapFriendly.com. Now, we can talk about Jason Botterill's facts. After his playing career, Botterill went back to the University of Michigan, where he had formerly played 4 years. He got an MBA from Stephen M. Ross School of Business, and afterwards he worked as a scout for 1 year for the Dallas Stars. He then went to Pittsburgh to be an assistant GM, and he also filled in as an interim GM for about 3 weeks during his time there. Then he left Pittsburgh and went to work for the Sabres in 2017. His 3 years were not the best. They were about building up the team and its steps to be a contender, but when things weren't going so well over a year into his time there, he decided to make a change, and by the change, I mean the trade. So here were the players, picks, conditions involved in the July 1st trade in 2018 between the St. Louis Blues and the Buffalo Sabres. Here's the trade. The Sabres received Patrick Berglund, Vladimir Sobotka, Tage Thompson, a 2019 conditional first-round pick, a 2021 second-round pick for Ryan O'Reilly. That's it, just Ryan O'Reilly. So, the first guy that we're going to talk about is Patrick Berglund. His story is a complicated story, so I'm going to say the basics and you can see the facts on the screen. Berglund was drafted by the Blues in the 2006 draft, 25th overall. He was good for them for 10 years, never scoring under 10 goals and putting up 25 points or more in 9 out of 10 seasons. He had a no-trade list that he was supposed to submit, and according to him, he tried to submit it. According to his agent, he didn't submit it even though the agent asked for it multiple times. Buffalo was on the no-trade list. That Patrick Berglund made clear. When he was traded to Buffalo, he struggled, not just on the ice but off the ice as well, and so he left his contract behind and went to Sweden, home. He stopped playing hockey for the rest of the year, and this year he joined a team in Sweden and performed very well. That's the basic story of Patrick Berglund's career. If you'd like to see more, click up here. If you or look at the interview over here, under below. The next guy is Vladimir Sobotka from the Czech Republic. He was getting up there in age when the trade happened. He was 31, but he had just played nearly a full season, 81 games, the highest of his career, and his point total, 31, was the second highest of his career. He didn't turn out so well for Buffalo, 13 points in 69 games, and a minus 20, and then this year, 16 games, 3 points after getting injured in November, had knee surgery, and then was ruled out for the season from what I can understand. He's also set to be a free agent this year, which could mean another piece lost from the Ryan O'Reilly trade. Okay, so they lost 2 pieces from that trade. We need some good news here. What about Tage Thompson? He's supposed to be good. He was drafted by the Blues 26th overall. So he did actually play 65 games in the NHL in 2018-19 with the Buffalo Sabres, but he only put up 12 points. He was demoted to the American Hockey League and did very well, 9 points in 8 games. He started this past season in the AHL with 12 points through 16 games with the Rochester Americans, the affiliate of the Buffalo Sabres. He seemed ready for a call-up, and he got a call-up, but then was injured for the rest of the season. He's a restricted free agent, and I hope they keep him. Maybe with a bit more experience, he could end up being a top 6 player in the Buffalo Sabres, on the Buffalo Sabres. That would be something after the way the other 2 parts of the trade have gone. But the trade is not over yet. First, we have the 2019 first-rounder, the conditional first-rounder. The condition was, if the Blues pick ends up top 10, the Blues can choose to change the year to the next year, that pick to the next year. Now we know what happened. The Blues were Stanley Cup champions, so the pick was more like a second-round pick, 31st overall. In fact, before 2017, when the Vegas Golden Knights joined, that would have been the first pick of the second round. Anyway, the Sabres picked Ryan Johnson. Well, if you look on HockeyDB, there are 12 different players that have played named Ryan Johnson, so I just went with the guy with the latest birth date at the bottom, Ryan Johnson. Well, after a good year at Sioux Falls of the USHL and winning a championship, he moved on to university, specifically the University of Minnesota, where he played his first season, playing 37 games, was a -9 and had 8 points, all assists. But I don't want to knock on him too hard. It's his first season, he was probably getting adjusted, and I don't blame him for not racking up the points. He can still be a great defenseman in Buffalo, or for another team, depending on what he wants to do. And now we get to play a fun game. Track the pick, the 2021 second rounder. The 2021 second rounder that Buffalo received from St. Louis belonged to St. Louis originally. 1 year and close to 4 weeks after the Buffalo-St. Louis trade, it was traded to the Vegas Golden Knights with a 2022 fifth-round pick for Colin Miller. You might remember, he still plays for the Buffalo Sabres. That 2022 fifth-round pick didn't go anywhere, at least not yet, there's still time. But the 2021 second-rounder moved on. In order to get Alec Martinez, the Knights traded the 2021 second-rounder and a 2020 second-rounder that belonged to Vegas originally to the Kings. That's where the pick ends now. Anything could happen between now and the 2021 NHL entry draft, but there's a great theory that comes out of the trade. If the Ryan O'Reilly trade does not happen, the Golden Knights might not have won the series against the Blackhawks, because the first round series this past year. Because with 12:32 to go in the second period, the Knights were down 3-2 to the Blackhawks. Martinez tied it up. If nobody tied it, then Blackhawks could have continued their comeback in the series because they were down 3-1 in the series. So because Ryan O'Reilly was traded away from the Sabres, the Golden Knights beat the Blackhawks. Great theory. Now we finally get to the St. Louis Blues side. They got Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly has been good, actually beyond good, Stanley Cup good. His achievements since joining the St. Louis Blues are 153 games played, 138 points, plus 22 in one season, his best since his first year in the league, 2 All-Star Game appearances, and the awards, right? A Frank J. Selke Trophy as the best defensive forward, 2 Lady Byng nominations for sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct combined with a high standard of playing ability, and a second nomination for the Selke Trophy. The Conn Smythe Trophy for Best Player in the playoffs, and the Stanley Cups. You can see all of his achievements right here. He did all of that in 2 seasons. So, in conclusion, I would like to say, even though it's really tough to say this, I would like to say that Jason Botterill lost the biggest trade of his career with the Sabres, even though they have a skilled forward who might end up playing in the top 6 someday for them, even though they have a defenseman who could end up being a franchise defenseman, like, it's hard to tell right now, and even though they do have Colin Miller because of that trade, kind of, Ryan O'Reilly won with the Blues. He broke out with the Blues, and if you miss on 2 of those pieces for the trade like Buffalo did, I believe it means you lost. We didn't talk about how the Sabres wanted to get rid of O'Reilly, who had said that he lost the love of the game in Buffalo, and they got so many pieces for it. After he said that, the Blues got so much out of O'Reilly, and the Sabres missed on 2 pieces of the trade. Maybe one day you could claim the Sabres won the trade, but I choose right now to believe that the St. Louis Blues won this trade. And there's one thing you can definitely not deny. The St. Louis Blues are the 2019 Stanley Cup champions, and Ryan O'Reilly is the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. In response to your unspoken question, I am not a St. Louis Blues fan. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.